is true. If you get caught between the moon and New York City, the best that you can do, the best that you can do is fall in love. Arthur, he does what he pleases. All of his life he is master's toys, and deep in his heart he's just a boy, living his life one day at a time. He's showing himself.
Start a new chapter. Welcome to World High, the college years.
Ain't no life like the Greek life, Jack. Who's Russian this year?
Oh, I am not Russian, but I am here to rush your fraternity.
You again. Come on, man. I already told you we can't let you join.
But you must. I must be allowed to join Nu Alpha Tau Omega at once.
Look there, fella, you got real potential, and we're happy to let you hang out with us, but we can't let you in.
Why not?
Because there's strict membership requirements to join Nu Alpha Tau Omega.
Strict? But you let him join.
Who, Turkey? He's been a member since the 50s.
Please, there must be something I can do to join.
Well, you can start by ending your beef with the guys from Kappa Gamma Beta first.
Those guys are the worst. They say I'm already part of frat because my father was part of frat. This is like opposite of legacy admissions.
Well, here's your problem, Chief. If you can get that issue squared away, we'd be happy to reconsider letting you join. But if we get involved in your conflict, that could lead to the end of all Greek life on Earth as we know it, and we don't want that.
Please, they are hazing me every day.
Sorry, Jack. If it's any consolation, we're proud of how you've handled the hazing, and we'd be happy to offer you as many kegs of light beer and as many tanks of party foam as you'd like. Now, if you'll excuse me, I gotta haze these new Swedes and Finns. And you stay out of this!
Jimmy on the beat, boy. Okay, boomer. Whatever you say, boomer. 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 BOOMER, please, your dusty mood don't vibe with me. You are old and so therefore I must say 10 for dinosaur day. Okay, boomer. Whatever you say, boomer. Okay, boomer. Whatever you say, boomer. Okay, boomer. Whatever you say, boomer. Okay, boomer. Okie dokie, boomer.
Oh, good God, the boomer screwed the pooch tonight. I gotta tell you.
Oh, you look very dashing tonight. It's okay. It happens. You know what? For as many shows as we do a year, you don't F up very many of them. So you're a lot of pass.
Does everybody, do we have people over on the Rumble and on Rockfin?
We do. Go Stars hanging out on the Rumble.
Okay. I hope you
I
can
think
see
we're
us.
live. I see us on Kick, I see us on Rumble, and I see us on Rockfin. So we are golden. How's the YouTube's hanging up?
Yeah, the YouTube looks good.
Okay, well then we're good.
I think I fixed everything.
I see us at Trailer Park too. You guys are everywhere tonight.
Yeah, I did it in under 10 minutes, so that's pretty good when it takes me like 20 to set it up. So anyway,
Right.
I want to shout out the chat here tonight. Rick Solis, hey, what's going on? Jilly Love, Cynic Girl, good to see you. Snow Leopard, Rick Doctor, Nick Rivera, Kumchwari, Kate. Hi, Kate. How are you? I'm fine. Vic, Thurston Community Media is still in the house. Good to see you, Vic.
While they're still in the house, we're still contributing.
We're still contributing. I got to show that. We got Jack's page up there on.
Jax is on the scroll. Nice.
The scroll, finally.
Good job.
I hope I got you everywhere you need to be, Jax. I apologize for last week. That was really, I was rusty.
It was our first first week with that deck. That's the problem is that was a new deck for us.
Yeah,
because we just came out of hot summer nights, and we got to transfer everything to the new deck.
Yeah,
Jack says, "You guys look sharp." Thanks, Jax. Thanks for the super chat.
There's a story behind that too. I want to tell you guys. Robert Templeton, good to see you. Roasting pots, pot, blah blah blah. And there's Jax. Good evening to all. Good to see you, Jax. Jax really sets aside time for us, her and her hubby, every Saturday night, and we really appreciate that, Jax, and to all of you who join us here for our little show.
I see a new viewer. I'm new here. I'm referred by Jax. Welcome to all the newbies, and we hope you enjoy this. We just kick back, we have fun. This is our little community here, and we talk about the crazy shit that's going on in the world and how we are helpless to do anything about it.
Yeah, we're absolutely helpless, and we're a little corner bar in the trailer park. So, Gamer,
we used to do the dive.
What's going on, Gamer? Yeah, we gave it up so Jackson Hinkle could get his 1 million viewers. And
did you see him hanging out over at the Kremlin? Yeah, I saw it this week.
Oh my God,
he was on RT too. He did a couple of videos that pissed off.
We told him he was going to blow up. His particular demographic.
We knew he was going to blow up.
I mean,
we did.
Love him, hate him, like him, screw him.
But we
whatever.
had him on before anybody else.
Yeah, we
had him on years ago.
He is who he is, and he's doing his thing.
Right.
And we don't drama with these guys if we can all help it.
We don't drama with anybody.
Good job. Oh, Trailer Park Pundit's in the house. Isn't that you?
I am in the house. It depends on where you're at, because I can't change my handle over on the Rockfin, so I'm still the accidental activist over there. But I did a lot of good work under the accidental activist title, which is still up on Rockfin. A lot of good deep dives.
Yes.
Yeah. Back when I worked much harder, and knew what the outcome would be. Now I'm like, I'm not going to put that much work into something that it's not going to get very many views. So.
Deborah Grossbach is in the house. Good to see you, Deborah. Let me see. I think I've called out 4737. Carlin, how are you doing? How do you not get copyright playing the song? Carlin, we don't get copyrights because we play covers and we don't monetize, but we do credit the artists. So, we're trying to give the artists credit, but they're all covers. I think I've done originals when they were so old that you could do originals. But we're not.
And we take a ton of copyright. We do, but not enough to copyright for them to take us down.
Yeah.
If we were to monetize it, then they would get the.
That would be a problem. Yeah, and we're not out to steal anybody's fire. If anything, we're promoting these great copy art.
That's what we always set out to do.
Great cover artists. So that's we're not out to take any money or any credit from anything from anybody. So we're very upfront about that. SFT, good to see you, FST. How are you doing? I'm almost through this list. There's a lot of people here on this list tonight.
Good to see you all.
Yeah. And
we got people hanging out on the Rockfin, too. I want to shout out the Rockfin.
Please shout out the Rockfin while you...
I will. Zoxo Voxo Vix is hanging out over there.
What's going on?
Fred Edwards, thank you so much for being our Facebook and Twitter aficionado. Always tweeting out our stuff. Who else is over there? Kate's been hanging out over there. Glad you're with us, Kate. Let's sit back and have some fun tonight because we got some crazy shit to talk about. Ronnie Graham is hanging out with us. Hi, Ronnie.
What's going on,
Diggler,
Ronnie?
you're already getting ready for Halloween? Well, we're already getting ready for Halloween, so we're going to have a good time.
Yeah, we've got Anthony. Anthony, good to see you, Anthony. Anthony Crank Yankers, Muppet. There you go. Love it. That's the first time I've run that. I think they're very, very conservative, funny guys over there.
Hey, Gamer.
Salty Digital Dive. Salty's Digital Dive. That's a great name. Salty's Digital Dive. Are you new, Salty? Good to see you here.
No, Salty's been hanging out for a long time.
Well, see, this is the problem. I don't spend enough time in the chat, and that was DC. Good to see you.
Yeah, we're trying to spend more time in the chat. We cut some slides tonight. Normally, we do what? We were pushing it up to 75 slides. You've been pushing us to 70, 75.
Yeah.
So we cut it back tonight. I think we're only sitting at 60.
Yeah.
We tried for 50. We ended up at 60.
Yeah, we
can't help it. There's just so much to talk about, And
yeah, there is. There's
too much.
Tons and tons. I want to shout out to everybody on the Kick and the Rumble, and we're going to be able to monitor those pretty soon. As soon as we get a few more people in the Kicks and the Rumbles. What did you say? We're at Trailer Park Pundit. How many platforms are we on?
I don't.
God, got to be at least seven.
Seven.
Yeah.
It's seven.
I think that's my limit. I can't do more than 7. I'm getting old.
Okay.
So
Okay, Boomer.
It's okay, Boomer. Anyway, I just want to show this great background again, and we want to thank everybody who is our Patreon and contributors to our show. Crazy Puppets in
Keep
there.
us going.
Nancy Ventura, Fred Edward. I want to show Jax again. Jax is brand new on this thing. So, Jax, do you approve of this graphic that I did for you on this thing back here? I think it came out pretty good. I'm getting handier with DaVinci Resolve. And any of you content creators, there she is, Jax Page. There she is. She's got her own moon and stars too. So,
oh, nice.
There you go, Jax. We wanted that for you. So, I just want to remind everybody, thank you all sincerely. We really do appreciate it. We're not out making a living doing this. We're out having some fun and spending time with our friends and fams.
Oh, yeah.
So ours is satire,
let's get started and talk some shit, because I'm ready. There's so much crap I need to talk about with you guys.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm going to forego the other stuff, and we're going to get right into
satire.
Stories. Yes. We're going to talk about this, and Caitlin Johnstone, I don't know, Shanda, if you saw Sean Penn on Face the Nation.
I ran it on my show on Wednesday.
Oh,
yeah, it was
right.
disgusting.
It was disgusting. Caitlin Johnstone popped up with this morning. I fucking had it with these shit-brained idea. This shit-brained idea that somehow an act of courage is to risk every life terrestrial organism rolling the dice on nuclear war for the advancement of personal geopolitical preferences, and that anyone who doesn't want to do this is a coward. Most of the humans on this planet don't give a fuck who governs Crimea or the Donbass, and exactly zero non-human lives care either. And who would have thought the Spicoli would be the man that brings us closest to nuclear war this week?
It makes sense, it's because it's Hollywood and it's a fantasy, the shit he's saying that, he's watched way too many World War II movies is what I see. And, we got to have courage and we got to save these people. But he doesn't know the reality of it is that he's a CIA spook, no doubt about it. And he's just a mouthpiece. We know that.
Yeah, he is. He's horrendous.
It's all made up make-believe.
Honestly, I don't want to take away from anybody, but Hollywood people are no different than the people here, the people across the street, or at the Walmarts, or they're just
a lot less educated on a lot of
especially the ones that have been
that grew up in Hollywood, like
the money hand over fist, grown up in Hollywood. They're not real. I mean, Oprah and The Rock over there putting the non-governmental organization to help Lahaina. That was just that still sticks in my craw. But anyway, let's hear what Sean Penn had to say. You brought this, and
this was Turncoat Don made this, and of course, Penn said this, but I love the background that he added. It's from the movie The Day After. Remember that movie from the 80s?
Yeah,
because that's the reality of it.
Shout out to Turncoat Don, doing good work. If you haven't followed him, follow Turncoat Don on Twitter. Here we go. Tell me if you hear it, Shanda.
They need more ammunition.
Oh, I hear it. It's kind of loud.
Long-range precision weapons, and yes, fighter jets.
It's going on.
The issue really is that right now they're dying. Every day they're dying. So what we're waiting for seems to still be attached to this, I would argue, overcautious concern related to
overcautious
nuclear weapons, because
into the world.
You're being overcautious.
Live in a world where a bully with nuclear weapons runs
like
the
us?
show. There was a former intelligence officer I'd spoken to in Ukraine at one point. He said, he doesn't want to live in that world, and Ukraine won't. And so I just think we have to make a clear decision to start saving lives, saving infrastructure, and what that means is supplying the Ukrainians. They have no interest in having Americans or others in the fight. They're ready to take the fight themselves. And their ability to transition on these platforms, be it the F-16 or when it comes to the Patriot, is not. I don't think there's been an honest conversation about how quickly they can transition. I think there's a lot in the air about how long it takes, how maintenance, fueling, all of that. But there are a lot of many ways in which that can be, sped up tremendously.
That guy is
You're being overcautious with nuclear weapons.
So full of shit. So just absolutely ridiculous, obtuse, whatever, arrogant, all the above. The guy is a Hollywood burnout hippie asshole.
Yep.
And I'm an old hippie, sort of. I wasn't 60s hippie, but I was 70s. So yeah, I get this shit. But this
is a guy who's been patted on the head his whole entire life by everybody who was kissing his ass, right?
Yeah, this is that hero worship for Hollywood stars and all this other
exactly.
crap. And I'm not saying there aren't some good people in Hollywood, but when it comes to the rich ones, not that many. They're so out of touch and out of the bubble. They just need to take a hike and shut the fuck up. They got some, they're rich.
Yes.
They're rich. Give some of your money to help some of these things, but it's just horrendous.
They don't give their money. No. They set up foundations so that way they can take your money and pretend like they're going to give it to people. That's what they do.
Well, that's the whole grift in itself, isn't it, Shanda? That's what
it is.
That's more cocktail parties.
That's what the rich. That's the difference between us and the rich, Oz. They know not to spend their own money. You spend other people's money.
I see Osama number 5 over on the Fin. And Osama. Jim, if I didn't call you out earlier, Jim, good to see you. DC's over there. And Jen Hansen. Hi, Jen. We're moving right along. We're trying to keep an eye on the chats more so we don't miss things like super chats and super rays and just general conversation. You brought this and it's got your favorite people in it, I see.
Well, guess who was in town this week? Zelensky came for a visit. It was much anticipated, and everybody got their photo op. Doesn't matter, Republican, Democrat, they're all smiling, and they all got their wallets open. Yeah. Well, our wallet open, actually.
It's our wallet open. What are these? Is he going to get $25 million more this week, or? Whatever.
He's getting so much, but there's all kinds of different packages, right? There's a couple of different ones.
What was he asking for? $25 billion, something like that. Then he went over and
I stopped even. It doesn't matter because next week it'll just be another blah 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 billion. I mean, the coffers are open and we're bleeding.
Sean Penn wants to save lives. Let's get everybody to the peace talks table, asshole. That's what you need to do. Quit sending weapons of mass destruction.
You're just being overcautious with
whatever
nuclear annihilation.
Whatever. I just don't want to. I don't want to see people and life die over there, and it's going to be dying bad. We're sending depleted uranium and cluster bombs over there, and
we're so delusional as Americans.
Crime.
Yeah,
that is a war crime.
Yeah, we're getting ready to send long range too. I think it's a long range. I think it's on the deck. I'm watching The Walking Dead or Fear the Dead. I love the whole entire Walking Dead universe. But anyways, in one of them, they set off a couple of nukes. Some crazy people after the dead have already taken them. So not only are they dealing with zombies, they're dealing with fallout and nuclear winter. Yeah. And Americans have no idea. Everything's gone. Everything's gone for miles and miles and miles. Like this isn't. We just take it so lightly. Like
they're watching too many of those post-apocalyptic movies that aren't even realistic by any means.
Yeah, yeah. You don't come crawling out of your bunker a year later and go back to planting crops. It's not how it's going to work.
It's all done. It's nuclear winter. It's 50,000 years of radiation. All that good stuff.
What are they going to stay in those dumb bunkers for years and years? 5 years, 10 years? I mean, it's going to take probably 50 to 100 years to have a livable Earth again.
Yeah, I don't think Gates and Bezos and the rest of them are going to come out of there.
They're going to the moon. They're going to Mars.
They're going to Mars. Speaking of old idiots, Tom Hartman again. Putin Republicans. Chris Murphy says 24 Republicans, including 7 senators, pledged to oppose additional funding to Ukraine. They support the eradication of Ukraine and Kiev becoming a Russian city. This is the consequence of a cutoff of aid. It just is. And Putin Republican. That's all Tom Hartman could say. That guy has got TDS and Putin on the brain so bad. He's horrible. Anyway, Kim Iverson summed up some pretty good factual stuff here. At least I think it's factual. So let's give her a listen.
And Rand Paul is basically saying he's going to shut down the government if the bill includes aid to Ukraine. Watch this.
I will not consent to any expedited passage of any spending bill that provides any more American aid to Ukraine. It's as if no one has noticed that we have no extra money to send to Ukraine. Our deficit this year will exceed $1.5 trillion. Borrowing money from China to send it to Ukraine makes no sense. It's not as if we have some sort of rainy day fund sitting around, trillions of dollars in a pot of money, and we're just going to send that to Ukraine. We're going to borrow it. When we borrow it and create new money to pay for that borrowing, we create the inflation that is plaguing our economy. Since the beginning of Russia's war in Ukraine, the American taxpayers provided Ukraine with $113 billion. Over the 583 days of war, between February 24th, 2022 and the end of the month, that averages $6.8 billion per month, or $223 million per day.
Get those numbers,
There's
everybody.
There's a lot of things that we need to fix in our country before we borrow money to try to perpetuate a war in another country. When will the aid requests end? When will the war end? Can someone explain what victory in Ukraine looks like? President Biden certainly can't. His administration has failed to articulate a clear strategy or objective in this war, and Ukraine's long-awaited counteroffensive has failed to make meaningful gains in the east. With no clear end in sight, it looks increasingly like Ukraine will be yet another endless quagmire funded by the American taxpayer.
Yeah, well, hopefully it doesn't last that long. But good for Rand Paul for standing up for this and saying we're just not going to be spending any more money on this, but I don't know how long that will last. He will surely be outvoted by all the warmongers in Washington. He's not a...
Yeah, he will be outvoted by the warmongers. And you notice Rand Paul didn't even mention all the people who have died. I heard it's like somewhere on the 400,000 people.
I've heard Scott Ritter say 500,000 this week.
We lost
500,000 dead Ukrainian soldiers.
We lost 57,000 troops in Vietnam. Right. They've lost over 400,000. And
people are fucking delusional. They're just like, oh, let's keep marching to war. But I'm not going to be kissing no Republicans' ass about this.
Neither am I.
I'm glad somebody finally stood up and said the fucking obvious. But here's the thing. The Republicans are just as much in bed with the weapons manufacturers of this goddamn war. And they obviously have a price. Whatever they want, they'll get. And if the government shuts down for a couple weeks, we've lived through it how many times in our lives? They always do this shit. And at the end, there'll still be war and everybody will come out happy.
Well, I think I saw something McCarthy said today. He's walking back the shutdown because Mitch told him not to do it. So
that's what I just said. Everybody's like kissing the Republicans' asses. I'm like, they are war hawks too. They want this war just as much. And here's the thing.
Yeah, that's it too.
I've been told that quantitative easing doesn't have shit to do with inflation. When you look at MMT, I mean, that's what, but I don't know that, right? I don't know if that's the cause of the inflation or if it's these assholes fleecing the whole entire country like they have been. So we're just told that the printing money doesn't work. That's why you're paying so much at the gas pump. That's why your food's so much. But is it really? I mean, if we were putting that money to programs to better the United States, better our country, better our infrastructure, better our education system, wouldn't that pay back in the long run? So
I think you reinvest into yourself and make yourself better and stronger. I subscribe to having the best defense in the world. I don't subscribe on imperial war around the planet because that depletes your resources at home, and you don't. Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, it's a no-brainer for common sense people, and I think Rand Paul, if you like him or hate him, it doesn't make any difference. What he said there was absolutely. I agree with it 100%. I agree with it, and I would just emphasize the lives lost in that thing. And
that's what I'm saying, Manitalk. I don't think printing is the problem. It's where they're putting it. Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah,
and that's a good way to kill the MMT argument right off the bat from the Republicans.
Well,
right?
it's all going to be
Democrats too. They just don't want to admit it.
We're going to be stuck with CBDCs here in a couple of years, so that's
they're coming.
They're coming. Anyway, we got just to wrap it up. Kim did such a good job. I wanted to give her another shot. Take some Nexium, man. That really worked.
I'm taking a Tums.
And the fact that he decides to use any breath at all on climate change, his people in Ukraine do not care about climate change right now. That is not their concern. They're not sitting there wondering, oh, am I going to be taken out by a strange, tornado or drought or something? They're worried about war right now. People in war-torn countries, they have bigger fish to fry than first world problems. And I might get eviscerated for that. Oh, first world problem, climate change. It's actually a third world problem because the people who are poor are going to suffer the most. Yeah, because of the climate change policies that we're enacting that make it to where we're attacking the farming, attacking animals, attacking all kinds of things that just even the fossil fuels industry not allowing some of these poor countries to actually rise up and develop. And saying, no, you must change. Really, it's just a way to keep many of them down. That has been really clear to me throughout this entire thing, that it's not really about climate change or the care of our politicians on that. I just don't think they care. I don't think they care at all. I think what they care about is remaining on top. I think what they care about is remaining in power. And I think they care to debilitate developing countries to keep them down so that they're no longer a threat. They don't want those small countries that they spent 100 years keeping down as banana republics. They don't want them rising up.
So
and
true,
actually
Snarky.
saying, you know what? And we don't like you, America. We're going to go and partner up with China. That is what they're trying to stop. That's the scenario they don't want to see. And so they make it all about climate change so that they can point the finger and debilitate countries. And they've even got Zelensky in on this. They gave him talking points, obviously, clearly, because there's no way in hell this guy cares about climate change when he's got hundreds of thousands of people dying in his country from warfare. There is no way he is caring about climate change right now. That's like a person thinking their Starbucks coffee got cold, while they're got starving children at home. So clearly, this looks to me like he is being given talking points, and he is absolutely operating like
he's an actor,
a puppet of the establishment of whoever is wanting. Go up there and give a little. Make sure you just add in some climate change in there because that's an important topic we're pushing. And Zelensky, like a good soldier, did it.
Yeah, he's not a good soldier, I got to tell you. Let's see. DC says the philosophy of modern monetary theory is a child's understanding of how money works and is definitely a cause of our state of economic decay.
You can't say that. Those MMT people will come for you. They're pretty badass, hardcore.
Honestly.
Have you ever seen them? Oh my gosh, yeah. I had to step away from that whole group many, many, many years ago. Like, okay, chill out, guys.
Regardless of the merits, and I'm pretty, I believe, magnanimous about this. I think a lot of it is caused from each one of these economic things that they've been pulling for decades.
They pull so much shit. They lie to us about everything. Our economy, I mean, it's ran by crooks and fucking criminals. And we want to pretend that it balances out like a fucking balance sheet. That is not our government at all. It's being siphoned out of a million different tentacles.
Yep, and we got Manitalk in there. You guys rock. Well, we appreciate it, Manitalk. And
you guys rock.
I got to say, we're not going to always agree on everything, but Shannon and I and Linda, we try and, approach everybody equally and fairly with their opinions and stuff. And we do take stands. We put our line in the sand, but we still don't shit on people who have a different opinion of us.
Yeah.
We want to talk about it and figure it out. So you can educate us. Maybe we can help educate you.
I don't know shit about the economy. I'm a fucking poor person.
Well,
I'm just giving you my impression on it.
But we do.
Obviously, the trailer park isn't running by MMT.
We care about the economy, not only because we're getting screwed every time we go to the market or the gas station or get a medical bill or something.
$5 a gallon.
But you and our sisters and brothers, it's a class war. And if you want to fold other things into this war, it's race, it's about gender, but it's class. Bottom line, I think the biggest part of it is the thing that affects all of us, from the people on Kensington Avenue in Philadelphia to the people in the trailer park up north here. So again, help us out, educate us, whatever. You brought this one right here.
What is this? Let's see. I don't know what this is. Oh, Jimmy Dore. So Simon at Abita says, breaking: with opposition in Congress, Biden issues a memorandum granting a new power to the Secretary of State to provide $128 million in assistance to Ukraine without regard to any provision of the law within the purview of Section 614AF1, blah, 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 the Foreign Assistance Act. is so fucked. The government starves its own people while endlessly funneling money to their donors in a public money laundering scheme called the Ukraine War, which they intentionally provoked in order to start funneling money to their donors. Honestly, and then it cuts off. I didn't get the whole thing, but yeah, that's it in a nutshell.
How can it be anything but a money funneling scheme? I mean, yeah, Joe Biden
to their donors. Joe
Biden's ball. You think we have a president? We don't. We have a sock puppet. We have a sock puppet and a cackling VP. That's all we've got. So again, guys, we're all in this boat together, regardless of our opinion. And this is just a follow-up.
That just reiterates
it. But
I put it on the deck before you put the other stuff.
How do you carry $200 billion in laundered money to the bank? You Ukraine it. So I thought
That's funny.
I thought that was kind of cute. I hate you besmirching one of my childhood cartoons here.
Oh, I know. I love the Jetsons. Yeah. Who didn't love the Jetsons?
Meet George Jetson. His boy Elroy. Let's see what we got here. It's United Spot, of course. They are irreverent as hell.
United Spot. Biden! Yes, Your Holiness. My money. It's coming, man. I promise. All right. Hurry up, Joe. Yes, sir. I need the lunch code. Oh, yes, sir. I need my money. Yes, sir. I'll get it for you. Hurry up. All right. I need more money, Joe. Where's my money, Joe? This isn't enough money. I need more money. Dad, wake up. Yeah. Space is gonna be cool. So, what's been going on?
This is a long one, I
just
think.
made some corn dogs. Oh, I love corn dogs. Oh,
yeah, this one's 3 minutes.
I brushed my teeth with barbecue sauce this morning. Think I'll FaceTime Tara Reid. So, how is Ukraine doing? They need
so
more
bad.
money. Yep. Well, what are you waiting for? Give it to them. Well, what about America? What? What? That's a good one, Chuck. Hey, Chuck, it's too early for jokes, okay? Hey, where am I? I got a hangover, for Christ's sake. Sorry about that, Nancy. Thought you were being serious. What now? Would you just listen to all them
flies? I want flies.
Hey, Putin, it's Joe. This not Putin. Hey, is this Jake from State Farm? No. I've been trying to reach you about your car's extended warranty. You have my check, Joe.
FaceTime Tara Reid was funny, I know.
You mean like French fries? I'll be over to get my money soon. Would you be willing to take a brief survey after this call? I really need those 5 stars. Hello? You have reached the number that has been disconnected or is no longer. It must have been a wrong number. Hey, where are you taking me? To give money to the president of Ukraine. Hey, I'm not calling him Dad. Even if there's a fire. Well, will you call him Dad for some ice cream? I'll call anybody Dad for ice cream. I know, Joe. Where's my check? right here, Dad. I'm going to need more money after this. All right, Dad. Anything you want. I know. All right, I called him Dad. Can we go get ice cream now? Yeah, Joe. We can go get ice cream. Hey, after all this, I need a vacation. So I was thinking about showing everybody my tax returns. What? I'm kidding, Chuck. That was a good one, Nancy. You got me, Nancy. Yeah, I started using lettuce to wipe my butt instead of toilet paper today. So, Joe, yeah. Where are you going on vacation? Somewhere sunny like New York. New York? Yeah. What's wrong with New York? New York is freezing right now, Joe. Yeah, Michelle hates cold weather. Everything shrinks. Well, I guess I'll ask Tara Reid to go to St. Croix with me, Joe.
You piece of
This is
shit.
like your 40th vacation this year. Yeah, well, hello, Joe. Hey, Gorbachev. How was your flight? It was okay, until some bald guy with lipstick stole my luggage. Yeah, welcome to America. Hey, thanks for dressing up, little buddy. I wore my good pajamas. You look great. Thank you. Yeah, you're so cute. I just want to roll you up in a little ball and put you in my pocket. Hey, what? Where's my money? The check's in your hand, and here's your big bag of money. Where's the rest of it? Oh, don't worry about it. I got my IRS officers working on it right now. I need more money, Joe. All right. I'll get it to you as soon as it's done in the dryer. Are you okay to walk, Joe?
Diaper.
Yeah, I mean, as long as there's no stairs and I'm not riding a bike, I should be okay. Well, where are we going? I have no idea. Hey, Ty. Yeah? Ask him if he wants to buy one of my paintings. All right. Of course. This money's not going to launder itself. It's cold in here. Throw another Constitution on the fire. That's a good idea. What is this? I got you a gift, buddy. But what is it? It's a launch coat. Oh, thank you. You're welcome. I could use this. Keep America broke.
Jesus Christ.
My God. That was a long one, but it was funny the whole way through. So I had to bring the whole thing.
Talk about hitting all the points. That was terrible.
They hit all the points. I love this. The bald guy stole my luggage. And see if he wants to buy a painting, Dad. Oh my gosh. It's too funny. The Tara Reid stuff.
Oh, God. Yeah. Every time. That's just a sore spot with us, too, that Tara Reid. Talk about your president of the United States got away with sexually assaulting women throughout his whole career, by the way.
Well, they smear Russell
opinion.
Brand. Yeah, so, which we're going to talk about, Russell. But now we're going to talk about this crazy-ass story that broke yesterday. Zelensky asked Marina Abramovich to be ambassador for the Ukrainian children and help rebuild the schools in the entire country. Now, I have been warning you about Marina Abramovich for years now. We're going to do a deep dive on Monday because there's just so much crazy, evil stuff about this woman that I've been telling you guys for years that we can't get into it on B&B. I've done some really big deep dives into her over on Accidental Activists when I was doing like the Epstein Island, Isaac Happy stuff because her name keeps coming up. And isn't it ironic that the same woman who's accused of harvesting that Adrena word that we're not allowed to say is now the woman who's in charge of children in Ukraine?
What the hell is up with that?
Remember, she really came to light, Oz, because of the Podesta WikiLeaks emails, because of was it the Vault? It was the Podesta emails where they were talking about spirit cooking. Now, what is spirit cooking? Well, it's a satanic ritual they do where they mix different concoctions. This woman can call it art. She can call it whatever she wants. It's satanic, it's Satanist, and it's rituals.
So is that really Lady Gaga down there?
Oh my God, she had Lady Gaga out in the woods for a year. I've got pictures of her with damn near every fucking star out there. Yeah, you'll have to join me on Monday morning for Trailer Park Pundit to check out. She has a very long history. I mean, she came up during the 60s, 70s, 80s. She's always done performance arts. One time she did a performance piece where she laid, I want to say it was like 47 different torture items or different items down on a table. And she invited people in and they were allowed to do whatever they wanted to her without killing her. And a lot of them hurt her and did stuff like it was crazy. But that's not even the crazy. She's done some really over the top.
Is she part of that CERN crowd? Is that what they do? Or
I'm sure they look to her. Now, if you recall, what was it, like 3 years ago, Microsoft did an ad with her to promote something. And within 24 hours, Twitter was so on fire that they took the original commercial down. It was weird. It was creepy. I remember we featured it. I'll have to go back and find that
wasn't the
original
greatest
clip.
Of ideas.
So here they are, asking her to be the Ukrainian ambassador to children, even though she couldn't handle a Microsoft freaking video without everybody.
What's the ambassador to children? Is there a certain title or is it just she's?
That's just the title. He said.
I can't think.
That just means she has access to the Ukrainian kids, and they'll make up some BS that she's helping them build schools.
God, it makes me want to resurrect Madeleine Albright to be ambassador for that instead of
Well, actually, I don't think she would hurt the kids half as much as that says a lot.
Just
right?
500,000 of them. No worries, everybody. They found the missing jet. Where did they find that jet? Was that at some forest in Florida or something?
I brought video. Okay. It's down. Somehow we got Ryan, and then it's down after Ryan. So go ahead and do the next one, and then I've got video of that jet crashing.
Oh, okay. Then you've got Ryan Knight. The Pentagon just decided to exempt Ukraine. Lawmakers can't agree on a deal. So let's just leave everybody in Lahaina without a future, their homes, and let's give all the weapons and more money to Ukraine. Screw you guys.
I like this meme.
Which billionaire would you most like to have lunch with? None?
But if I had to pick one out of those 6, I would probably say, God. I don't know. It's down between Trump and Elon.
Yeah,
but
I'd have to take Musk.
Yeah, I probably would take Musk too. Just because he'd be
Musk.
Funny to talk to for 2 hours, whatever. Warren Buffett, please, come on.
He could kiss my ass like.
Oh yeah, would he take me to his grandma's house and give me a tuna fish sandwich?
Probably,
because he's so frugal, you know.
I know. So is this that plane? That jet?
Okay, so this is alleged footage of that jet crashing. Now, we didn't see this for 3 days after the jet crash, so it makes you kind of wonder where it came from.
I don't believe this stuff just appears. Let's take a look.
Look at that.
Well, that's pretty good.
Wait for it. There it is.
That's pretty good. Gotta say.
Okay, so here's the conspiracies already coming out on this. There's quite a few. There's an eyewitness report that... What is that?
It's
okay. It's them in the background still going. Anyways, they said that it was inverted right before it crashed and that they could see the canopy. But if the pilot ejected off of a F-35, the canopy would be gone. We all grew up with Top Gun. Remember, Goose smacked his head on the canopy? And so everybody's like, what do you mean you saw the canopy? It wouldn't have been on there. So there's questions. People got questions. I got questions.
Did you say goose or juice? I'm so confused this week.
Goose.
Goose. Okay.
You've been hanging out with Biden too much.
No, I've been listening to Sean Penn too much. What is this?
Well, this was an eyewitness report. This is funny.
Saw that between a screech and a whistle. I said, what in the world is this?
Are you serious? Is this for real?
Yeah.
And I heard a screeching. Saw that between a screech and a whistle. I said, what in the world is this? And I heard a boom.
Oh, I get it. Sorry, I'm slow.
And I heard a boom. I said, what in the world is this? And I heard a boom. I said, what in the world is this? And I heard a boom. Pack it up, pack it in, let me begin. I came to win, battle me, that's a sin. I won't ever slack up, punk, you better back up. Try and play the role and you're the whole crew will act up. Get up, stand up, come on, throw your hands up. If you got the feeling, jump up, touch the ceiling. Monsters of one flow, someone's fucking jump, yeah, I'll bust them in the eye. And then I'll take the punks out, feeling funky. Amps in the trunk and I got more rhymes than this cops at a donkey. Donut shop, sure enough, I got props from the kids on the hill with my mom and my pops. I came to get down, I came to get down. So get down your seat and jump around, jump around. So what in the world is this? And I heard a boom, jump around. So what in the world is this? And I heard a boom.
Get down.
So what in the world is this? And I heard a boom. So what in the world is this? And I heard a boom. I'll serve your ass like John McEnroe. If your girl steps up, I'm smacking the hoe. Word to your
What the
moms,
hell?
I came to drop bombs. I got more rhymes and the bottle's got songs. And just like the prodigal son, I heard a boom.
Is this the one you think we're gonna get punked for?
Yeah.
And I heard a boom. If you come to battle with a shotgun, but if you do, you're a fool, 'cause I do to the death. Trying to step to me, you take your last breath.
It's a nice outfit.
Come get your fill, 'cause when I shoot the gift,
Yeah, Superwoman. Get down. I came to get down.
out your seat and jump around.
Ow.
Jump around. Jump around. Jump around. Jump up and get down. Jump. So what in the world is this? And I heard a boom. So what in the world is this? And I heard a boom.
Wow.
What in the world is this?
Wow.
Boom. So what in the world is this? And I heard a boom. Must put to the meteorite come out of space or something.
He did a good job. That was
Yeah,
good.
that was funny. I think it was a remix somebody made, but
Oh,
I thought
well,
it was funny.
It is. It is what it is. We hope you guys enjoyed that. How's everybody doing? Hey, Warren, what's going on there? Don't forget to catch the show over in Warren tonight.
The super secret show.
Super secret show. You want to put the link in the chat? You're welcome to there, Warren. Starts at 9:00 promptly after our show. You've got. They've been sure going to town on Russell Brand. What the hell, Shanda?
We've been talking about it all week over on Trailer Park Pundit, and I said it was going to get worse. It has got worse. This week we saw YouTube demonetize him. Absolutely insane that they can do that, but they've put a clause in the community guidelines that says if you do anything in your outside life that reflects badly, they can take you down. And then, of course, we saw letters go out to all the other platforms, including TikTok, where they pretty much just demand that you take him down. Well, we saw others take a stand for him, like Rumble, right? I think Rumble's the next one.
This one right here?
Yeah. So Rumble stood with him and said, today we received an extremely disturbing letter from a committee chair in the UK Parliament. So the Parliament was sending these letters out. Why? Because he's been convicted of anything and it's any of their damn business. But anyways, while Rumble obviously deplores SA and all other serious crimes, believe that both alleged victims and the accused are entitled to a full and serious investigation, it is vital to note that the recent allegations against Brand have nothing to do with the content on Rumble platform. So they go on to say, yeah, pretty much bite us. We're not taking him down.
Well, that's good for Rumble, but from what I understand, Peter Thiel doesn't own Rumble, but he is on the board, I believe, right?
Well, if there's a board, see, and that's how you and I watch enough law shit to know that if there's a board, they can take a majority share and, get control. Yeah. And that's what happens with a lot of these companies. They, one person builds them and somebody else like Elon Musk comes in and muscles them out by taking over their board, by buying controlling percentage in their company.
So do we have video? Is this what's this from today, Russell?
You
Brand?
put this on the deck, so I cut it. Oh, okay. So there's two videos here. The first one, Russell was quiet all week, right? He dropped this video last night. So fair is fair. Let's hear what he has to say.
We're going to play this one in entirety, right?
Yeah. Well, I cut it. I did cut it. It's like 3 something.
Okay.
Hello there, you awakening wonders. Obviously, it's been an extraordinary and distressing week. And I thank you very much for your support and for questioning the information that you've been presented with. By now, you're probably aware that the British government have asked big tech platforms to censor our online content, and that some online platforms have complied with that request. What you may not know is that this happens in the context of the Online Safety Bill, which is a piece of UK legislation that grants sweeping surveillance and censorship powers, and it's a law that has already been passed. I also don't imagine you've heard of the Trusted News Initiative. Now, as is often the case when a word like trusted is used as part of an acronym to describe an unelected body, trust is the last thing you should be offering. The Trusted News Initiative is a collaboration between big tech and legacy media organizations to target, control, choke and shut down independent media organizations like this one. We'll be talking about that on our show on Monday on Rumble. But just to give you an idea of what the TNI is, this is a quote from one of their spokespeople. Because the actual real rivalry now is not between the BBC and CNN globally, it's actually between all trusted news providers and digital platforms. It's clear that these organizations collaborate in constructing narratives, whether that's around the war or the pandemic, and of course there are other examples. And it's very clear to me that we have to be very, very cautious indeed. That's why I'm asking you to follow me on Rumble. Rumble have made a clear commitment to free speech, and Rumble is the primary platform that we will be streaming from. We'll be back this Monday, and as usual, we'll be talking about deep state and corporate collusion and how ordinary democracy is anathema now, how it's shut down, ignored and avoided. We'll be talking about a military-industrial complex that is able to facilitate and start wars that seem sometimes to be little more than money laundering operations. And that's with all respect to the hundreds of thousands of victims of the numerous ongoing wars in the world at the moment. We'll be talking about the role of Big Pharma and how Big Pharma have been able to influence government policy around the world and how they've been able to evade due liability and necessary scrutiny, how they've been able to avoid media investigation that perhaps ought be due them. And of course, we'll be talking about media corruption and censorship. So please follow me on Rumble, because that's the only way that we can keep our voice. You can go to our...
I think it's great because you know what I noticed here? Or not noticed, it's our apparent. He's basically going to war. Because
he is going to war. And I'm going to tune in tomorrow or Monday. Are you going to tune in?
Oh, yeah. I'm going to, even if I couldn't or not be here, I'd turn it on. I'd leave it on just to show
exactly
support.
Just to give him that viewership number to help in that war. And I'm not necessarily, I'm not taking a side on this, you know.
No, it's not
everybody's
about,
got. It's not about that. It's about social credit store and how they're rolling it out. They don't like what he's saying. He hasn't been found guilty of anything. I don't care if they have their bills over there. They're snowballing us into social credit scores, and they will shut you up if they don't like what you're saying.
Well, to take his monetization down, again, I think Google should be...
But they're still making fucking ad revenue on it. That's just such chicken shit.
Google is too big to continue. I shouted out on Twitter today.
They're a monopoly.
We've been screaming this for years. So bad. And
yes.
I said, whatever it takes, if it takes every person in the world to say Google's done or break them up, that's what we need to do. Because they are a monopoly and they are controlling the narrative of at least this aspect of media. And this is media. The infrastructure belongs to us. We're the ones that give them license to use the...
We paid for it.
We paid for it, everything.
Yeah.
It's all...
This
is horrific. This is like the pharmaceutical companies. When we pay for all the research...
It's not going to stop, though. Who's next?
I know. It's too big. It's too big. And it has to stop. There was a time when an honest president would go in there and send the military in to shut him down and put him out on the street. That's gone because they own the government. There's that big.
Well, they're coming at him hard. And like I said, we started out with 4 women and now they supposedly have so many more, you know. I covered it a lot on Trailer Park Pundit this week, but really the one it's coming down to is the 16-year-old girl who had a relationship with him. And there are some text messages that are kind of out of context. And I've seen a huge part of the media grab onto those and believe them. A huge part of the media tearing them down and saying, you know, but here's the thing. This is not trial by fucking the world.
Public, yeah. It's not
public.
Yeah.
That's not the way this is supposed to work. If there's legitimate claims, it needs to go through an investigation. It needs to go through a court. And it needs to go through a jury of your fucking peers, right?
Yeah.
But no, everybody's, we just got our rooting sections and we're the jury. So you brought this Kim Iverson, but I cut it.
I think it's just redundant. Can we go to the next slide?
Yeah, no, let's go to the next slide.
Okay, let's do it. Kim's had a lot of play tonight. Shanda,
you brought Kim. I didn't bring anything.
No, I brought Kim tonight, and kudos to Kim for doing the work she's doing. She was on with Pasta and yesterday.
Yeah, I watched
Kurt.
some of them.
That was a pretty good show. Biden create a new office of gun violence prevention, and there's Kamala there cheering him on. What do you think of this, Shanda? I know you got.
Oh, he's just creating all kinds of new positions. So what about his Department of Homeland Security positions that he gave Brennan and Clapper this week? I mean, yeah, he's just dishing them out. Here, you want a new office? Here you go.
Well, yeah, this is. It goes back to. We've had select committees investigating people for fraud and all this other stuff. We've had, to battle the climate change. I haven't seen shit come out of these committees ever.
I've been in these committees. I've been on some committees. They don't accomplish anything.
And this thing is just, to me, more overreach is going to come out of this committee where they can more militarization of the Capitol Police and police forces across the country when we should be looking at other ways of combating this. I got to
tell you, the most militarized I've ever seen a city in my whole entire life. And I grew up in Navy Town, Bremerton, with a lot of military. Yeah. And it was in D.C. Going into D.C. and the D.C. Metro. And then you had the National Guard was still in there while we were there. Everything was fenced off. They were all packing automatic rifles. Like, I've never seen anything like it. And that's our capital.
Didn't they give the Capitol Police $2 billion so they could spread their tentacles to every state in the union?
Well, don't you remember right before that inauguration, they were crying that, or they were saying, the Democrats were saying that DC Metro didn't need any more money.
No, this is Capitol Police,
like,
and they just want to, they're just covering their asses because they know people are fed up and sick and tired of shit. People are losing their crap. Our executive producer, Linda, has a Would You Rather tonight. And I think it's quite good. And I think she's calling out somebody's birthday in this, Shanda. So let's give it a listen.
Okay.
I stumbled upon this bizarre little poser and thought it would be perfect for wrapping up summer with a would you rather pool party. Keeping in mind that either option would be physically exhausting, would you rather empty a swimming pool using only a fork or get in a swimming pool for half an hour with a jellyfish? Well, I can't imagine how long it would take to empty a pool with a fork. But if it was an inflatable kiddie pool, you could just pop it. This is Beauty and the Boomer, though. We don't have poppable kiddie pools. We have adult-sized swimming pools, and one of them has a jellyfish in it. I'm simpatico with the animal kingdom, so I got to get in the water with the jellyfish for 30 minutes. What could go wrong?
You wouldn't do that?
I've been stung by jellyfish. Fuck no.
Yeah, I have too.
No.
It's a very unique sting too. I've got to say.
I live on the Pacific coast. We have tons of jellyfish. I've been, you stay away from jellyfish on the beach. I've known that since I was 3 years old.
I think the Yum Yum has the birthday shout out. I apologize for jumping the jellyfish there. VP Harris announces first steps to remove medical debt from people's credit scores. Okay, Shanda, you brought this. Tell us about what's going on here.
Oh my gosh. It's a virtue signal. She's just telling you that it's bullshit and they will never do it. Come on.
Is it a virtue signal? Let that happen. Is it a virtue signal like creating the gun violence, the office?
Yeah, exactly. It's just shit that the Democrats say that they're never going to do. They're never going to uphold. I mean, think of the people that would help to have the medical debt wiped from their credit scores. That would bring maybe some people out of poverty. So Dems will never do that.
Ask the students how that worked out for their student debt.
I know, right?
That's crazy.
They just lie.
Check this out.
What about our $2,000 checks we were going to get too?
What do you think of the Boebert scandal? Now, why would you ask this person?
This is so gross. This AOC Sandy being gross.
All I got to say is I can't go out to lunch in Florida in my free time. Not doing anything, just eating outside, and it's wall-to-wall Fox News coverage.
Oh, shut up.
And then you have a member of Congress engaging in sexually lewd acts.
Oh, my God.
In a public theater, and they got nothing to say. I danced to Phoenix once in college, and it was like all over the place. But, putting on a whole show of their own at Beetlejuice, and there's nothing. I'm just saying, be consistent. That's all I'm asking for. Equal treatment. I don't expect it, but come on.
She is so gross.
What? He was.
She's such a narcissist. Look at her eyes when she said, "I danced to Boston to Phoenix." You just see it in her damn eyes. She is a complete narcissist. She thinks she's the hottest thing on the planet. And she's pointing out that, look at how much attention Fox gives me. Yeah, she's terrible.
Well, the hypocrisy there, too. That, first of all, that was somebody using an infrared camera or something. And
that was a setup. He was a Democrat. He owned a Democrat. He owns a restaurant. That was their first date. Now, who does that on their first date is my only question. Well, I do. Okay, never mind. But, I think it was a setup. I get it.
I think so, too. I just, that being said, when I've been to the theater in the past, I've kind of played around with my date at the movies.
Oh, yeah. Come on.
So let thee who is without sin throw the first stone. That's all.
Obviously AOC. So
oh yeah, she's just so pure. What'd you do? Bring the love fest of Jimmy Dore and Jake Uger here?
Yeah, what is this? Yeah, it's a love fest. Oh, that's right. Matt Orfala made this. Yes, it's good.
I wouldn't have Jimmy Dore on this show.
Oh, it is good.
Jimmy Dore, I think Jimmy is Jimmy.
I wasn't asking about Jimmy. What do you mean when you characterize me and Jimmy as having a quote-unquote alliance?
In the days where he was doing forced to vote and all that nonsense.
Cenk Uygur's own audience overwhelmingly supports this idea.
And I support forced to vote, as did Cornel West and Chris Hedges and Crystal Ball and Kyle Kalinske, members of DSA, and a whole lot of people on the left from Jimmy Dore. Jimmy Dore. But I would like if we keep this conversation focused on us and whatever your concerns were about me.
Look, Brianna, so when Jimmy did a video, Jimmy all the time, and I attacking Jimmy.
Well, Cenk, you should really talk to Jimmy. I am not a ventriloquist dummy for Jimmy Dore, and I really wish you would respect me enough to engage with me as the human being that's sitting in front of you, and not.
Jimmy says in his speech, let's go to, hold on. Jimmy, no, I have to give you the distinction.
This is his audience, not mine.
And they see something in Jimmy.
And almost 9 out of 10 of them see right through his bullshit.
And if Jimmy is attracting a certain kind of audience and pulling certain people to the left who resonates with them.
Anyway, I can't bear to talk about Jimmy.
I can't.
I hate to say it. I love Jimmy Dore. And I always have, so make sure you go to jimmydorecomedy.com.
That was
great.
You know, of all the drama that we see, and we don't participate in a lot of it, but I love the drama between these two. It's funny because Cenk is just...
well, we lived it for real time. You know, I was such a Jimmy Dore fan coming out of 2016. And of course, he was contracted with TYT. And that's when we started seeing the tension between them. And there was a long period of time, maybe 8 months, almost a year, when we were like, when's Jimmy going to break? When's he had it with their fucking policies? Because we saw TYT, Jake and Anna just going... total fucking...
We said, like many others, he's not for long on the Young Turks. We said
we
that.
We called it.
You go back on the shows.
Yeah, when he was aggressive progressives.
Yeah, a lot of our friends and fam said it. You know, we're not taking license. We say everything, but we've been ahead of the ball more often than not. So... Again, this is
because we've been on the ground in this movement for almost 10 years now.
God,
we know all the characters. We know who's doing what behind the scenes. The Jordan Charlton thing, I freaking knew about that lollipop crumbs bullshit.
I know.
6 months before it broke.
I can't stomach that guy ever since he shit all over Fee and Pasta and some of our
he's
other
a family
friends.
guy now.
He's an asshole. New York Mayor Adams with the RoboCop, which cannot make the heart with the mayor because it has no arms. That's NYPD R2D2. But
I saw that.
Yeah, it's whatever.
Oh,
you know, I mean,
it's a wild world.
What do the police unions think about this? You know, we always hear about the police unions. They're replacing police jobs with robots. They're coming for you guys, and ultimately...
The police union doesn't have a say. It's the higher-ups on the police union that have a say, and it doesn't affect them, so they got no shits to give.
I'm sorry. The police labor organization, where they don't take a vote of the base. They just do what the hell they want, and that's it. And that's like so many unions, as we have pointed out in the past. We had good news this week, actually. Finally caught this bastard Menendez. He's been crooked for decades, and they caught him with, gold and money and just all kinds of bullshit. This is one of those things where I'm going to go lightly on the innocent until proven guilty because this guy's been a shady asshole forever. So, you know, I'm glad. And by the way, he's a Democrat, so those who lean towards the Democratic
Party... He's a sacrificial lamb. The Democrats only let those go down that they want to go down. He did something that they were like, nope, cut him loose. He'd go down.
You know what I always say? It's like, who did he piss off?
Exactly. He did something wrong. He didn't do the right thing. You want to go up one to get Linda's Yum Yum? We skipped a couple of slides, it looks like.
I think I jumped this one here. This one's next.
Oh, that's Shama. That's on strike. That's a good message from Shama Sawant. Yeah.
Okay, here we go. We're going to run it.
It's about the auto workers.
Auto workers strike. Okay. Shama Sawant, ladies and gentlemen. She was speaking some good truth to power this week about Cornell's campaign, too.
Oh, I haven't heard that. I'll have to go look for it.
It wasn't bad.
The workers
it was just
prevented any
critical.
scab production, brought production to a grinding halt, and won historic concessions. The strikes of the 1930s also shut down the supply chain, bringing not just the plants being struck to a halt, but also much of the auto industry. That is not what is happening here. It is extremely exciting that UAW has gone on strike, but unfortunately, these three plants do not appear to be strategic targets that are having an outsized impact. As the Associated Press reported, Merrick Masters, a business professor at Wayne State University in Detroit, said, quote, "The union didn't go after the company's big cash cows, which are full-size pickup trucks and big SUVs, and went more for plants that make vehicles with lower profit margins. So it appears that these are not strategic locations at all." And Masters goes on to speculate about the logic of the union leadership, saying, quote, "They want to give the companies some space without putting them up against the wall. They are not putting them right into the corner. You put an animal in the corner and it's dangerous," end quote. But this is absolutely not how you win a strike, by letting the company off easy. This was not the strategy of the 1930s auto workers who backed the auto industry bosses against the wall in every way. That is how they won. In fact, it is dangerous for the workers and the union movement to give the bosses the room to maneuver and undermine the strike by allowing production and delivery to continue during the strike.
Oh, sorry, I should have cut it. I didn't know it had music at the end.
I mean, the corporations are more powerful now than they were in the 30s. Yeah. So you cannot give them any quarter. You've got to go balls to the wall or whatever you got and take these bastards down. You don't want to.
And they don't, because of the higher ups that represent them.
They're not a union.
Of course, the base always says, no, we'll fight back. And you and I were talking about this in the green room tonight with the Hollywood strike.
Yeah.
You know, with the writers' strike. It's the same thing. They're just, they're screwing the people. They always do. I wish these unions could wrestle back the control of their actual unions, because it's very rare in this country that they actually have a say, and that say is upheld.
They're not a union unless all the base votes for the direction of which they want to go in their negotiations. Yep. If they've hired professionals to get in there, they're going to wheel and deal with the corporations. That's it. Always. Those aren't unions. Those are labor organizations that benefit those very same corporations that they want to strike on. It's a no-brainer. I mean, the Nurses United, DeMoro, she's thinking,
Roseanne,
she's thinking about going against the union on some of their,
She has some fight in her.
Yeah,
I've met her in real life a couple of times, and she really does have fight in her. She gets sucked back into the Democrats real easy, I've noticed, but there has been times where she's, drawn the line and stood up to them. So I hope she does. I really does. I think she's a good leader. I think that she knows how to talk to people, but she needs to do something with it.
We're very clear on our positions. The Democratic Party, the Republican Party are not your friends. They are not your friends. I don't know who is. Somebody out there, independent. I don't know how it's gonna change, Shanda. I don't know how anything's gonna change. And by the way, Biden's supposed to go out and walk the picket line with the UAW on Tuesday.
Oh,
That's
God.
a photo op. He's a strike breaker and a worthless sock puppet.
He's a scab.
For every and besides, he'll probably think they're gonna go. Joe, we're gonna go have ice cream on Tuesday with a bunch of people.
Yeah,
that's
you
what
don't know. Smile. They're taking your picture. Say this.
Smile. Say this. I don't want to get in trouble, so I'll say what you tell me to say.
If it's even him, because we've seen quite a few Biden impersonators this week.
It's that simple, everybody. It's that simple. You've got somebody that shouldn't be in charge of the nuclear launch codes as a sock puppet for the rich and the powerful. That's it.
Absolutely.
Here's that yum yum that I was talking about, and it's happy birthday, Lindsay, from Linda. So let's hear this.
Happy birthday, Lindsay.
Beautiful, colorful yum yum that she has dedicated to Lindsay.
Everybody just shut up.
Whoa, loud.
You've been D-worded and D-worded. September 23rd, 2023. If you've been deplatformed or forbidden from speaking on a college campus recently, your views probably made an administrator uncomfortable. Colleges like Dartmouth, Northwestern, Georgetown, and Harvard, ranked as some of the worst for free speech, have an 81% success rate of deplatforming attempts. Concerning free speech, Harvard is number 1 at being worst on the list of 2024 college free speech rankings, which is a poor place to be for a school churning out so many lawyers. Makes you wonder what Harvard is teaching future attorneys regarding free speech.
We know what they're teaching them.
Thankfully, Roar Media allows me the freedom to wish my niece a happy birthday during a Beauty and the Boomer show segment, so I'm taking advantage of the opportunity. I love you, Lindsay.
Wasn't that nice?
That's happy birthday, Lindsay.
And you have, Linda, you could do anything you want because we are all about supporting our fams.
And free speech, obviously.
Obviously. So there you go. I'm not going to rehash this, gold bars, cash, everything with Mindy.
I love that meme, though. That's a great meme.
That's why I brought that. We have to look at that. I saw him wearing a suit today. So did he get...
yeah, we're going to get into that. I think it's further down the deck, maybe. Or maybe it's on Monday's deck. But
okay. This was supposed to be our day here. What the hell?
I know. I'm waiting. What is it? Not going to happen till midnight on the West Coast. So FYI, the Rapture is coming September 22nd and 23rd because... some people said the 22nd, some said the 23rd. Definitely for real this time.
Jesus Christ.
And you can get your Rapture survival card. What do you get on the 10th punch? Something free.
Free coffee. Yeah.
Free coffee.
Free coffee, something like that. Mark say from Rapture today. Well, one thing's for sure. We won't have to worry about it tomorrow, will we? One way or another. So,
I don't think so.
What do you got? Oh, God, Shanda. Are you going to do this to me?
I do. I have to do this to you. This guy is such a fucking fool. I mean, they're both fools, but let's do it.
Yeah, we're having a fool contest here, everybody. Who do you?
Yeah, it's a fool contest.
Who's viewed as he's waiting in the wings. He is he's one of the candidates who would be considered one of the top level candidates if he were to run, whenever he were to run. And so CNN is kind of interested in probing him to see where he's at. Like, hey, would you step in for Biden? If Biden steps aside and Kamala's running, would you run against her? And there's really interesting things he says here that kind of shocked me. Let's listen.
Only 1/3 of American voters think that Joe Biden will stay in office through a second term. I know you are downplaying concerns about his age, but do you believe that voters don't have any reason to be concerned that he would be 86 years old by the end of his second term?
Voters have every right to be concerned, but I remember Bobby Kennedy said it best, that what the world needs are the qualities of youth. Not a time of life, but a state of mind, a quality of imagination. I mean this, I couldn't imagine 3 years ago that this president could accomplish so much in such a short period of time. I mean that. If this political season is all about a celebrity,
did he really say that?
A celebrity for 4 years. It didn't go well. And so I want a seasoned pro that knows how to get things done. I'm a little old-fashioned. I want a guy who produces results. And the results are in. It's been a masterclass. There's simply no administration in my lifetime that's been more effective producing more substantive results.
You and Vice President Kamala Harris go way back. Yep. You say that you came up together in San Francisco, knew each other.
Before we were in politics.
Before you were in politics. I'm sure you saw that former Speaker Emerita, Nancy Pelosi, she heaped praise on Kamala Harris, but she declined to say whether or not she thought that the Vice President is the best person to be on the ticket with Joe Biden in 2024. Do you?
Of course she is. The Biden-Harris administration. Masterclass in terms of performance.
Oh my God.
On infrastructure, bipartisan deals on guns and debt ceiling, on the chips and science.
She's the best choice.
I mean, by definition, if I think this administration the last 2.5 years has been one of the most outstanding administrations in the last few decades, and she's a member of that administration, she gets to lay and claim credit to a lot of that success. The answer is absolutely.
So first of all, let me state the obvious. He is way better at making the case for Biden and Kamala than Biden or Kamala.
Believe me, you didn't want to hear his analysis. Just hearing, him say that shit was gross enough.
Masterclass in incompetent bullshit.
Yeah.
That's what that is.
That's what it is. I want to shout out over on the Rock family. We got a Super Ray.
Super Ray.
Ronnie Graham.
Ronnie
Graham. Thank you so much. Says Shama Sawant at Shama Sawant is the best hope for the U.S. left. Therefore, all should support On Strike. It's at On Strike show. And I agree. I've been friends with Shama and her husband. I actually knew her husband before I knew Shama for many, many years. And I've always said that about Shama. And she doesn't even come across as powerful as she does in person on TV or on on an interview, whatever. When you meet her in real life and you listen to a speech, I once went to the University of Washington and watched her pack a house of thousands, and she brought that house down. She is amazing in real life. For sure.
I hope she inspires more people.
I don't always agree with her though.
No. Who do we always agree with, Shannon?
Who do I always agree with? You.
Well, that's because we share a brain.
Pasta, most of the time. Jimmy, most of the time.
Most of the time. But
most of the time.
But not always. But you and I are pretty much aligned as far as thinking. And it's kind of like we've been down the same road and we share brains. So that's where it is.
We do.
And
your tie looks great.
And we got bow tie. We got each other's backs. Just quickly, a note on this. I was compelled to apologize to Shanda for 2-3 years of wearing T-shirts when she came to every show ready to present, ready to respect everybody, and I will apologize to our group for not dressing up.
You don't have to apologize.
I do, because you know what? It's no skin for me to dress up, and
But you look sharp.
And I'm telling you, there will be a time when I'll wear a T-shirt or a Halloween when I wear a costume or something. But for the most
we're working
part,
on Halloween.
I want to look a little more professional, and this is not for clicks because nobody's going to give this boomer old clicks. But
I like it. I liked it when you used to dress up too. That was fun. We did like a whole year of costumes one year, and you did some funny ones. You did I Dream of Jeannie. That was a good one. I love Preacher Oz. Preacher Oz was great.
Preacher Oz.
That was fun.
I like Preacher. I might do Preacher again. So. Just an up note, the world's biggest arms exporter is the United States by far. Russia is a far second, and then France, of course. They've got to be war pigs too. Then we've got China down here, and Germany and Italy and these United Kingdom and South Korea.
Right.
So we are sending war criminal munitions to Ukraine, and I think Biden should be impeached immediately, and the entire Congress should be set on record as they are culpable in sending, in being war criminals, sending war criminal munitions to Ukraine. So you can all go to hell.
Look at this meme back here. That's crazy. 223 million per day since February 22. If that's true, and I've heard numbers that high, if that's true, you don't even wrap your mind around it.
Can we send that to Lahaina for a month?
I know.
Just a month.
Yeah. Just a month, man.
Just a month. Just send it to them for a month. And that would probably rebuild Lahaina.
East Palestine. I mean, there's so many communities that are suffering, and it's from neglect from our government.
This administration is going to go down in history as one of the worst ones in history.
I believe so.
No matter what bullshit they're trying to sell about Bidenomics or about the greatest presidents is FDR. Bullshit.
Every great civilization that has collapsed always has this story at the end, and we're following the draft to a fucking T.
This administration, I don't even consider Biden our president. He's a sock puppet,
right?
But as far
as Obama, for the Clintons, for Klaus,
Obama, Clinton, and Bush. Probably the 3 worst presidents we've had in this country yet.
My whole lifetime.
As far as criminality. It's just been horrible. And I'll put Obama at the top because he was the most cunning of presidents, asshole. Breaking, John Bolton says if Donald Trump is elected in 2024, he will most certainly withdraw the United States from NATO. I kind of agree with that.
You don't threaten me with a good time.
Yeah, you asshole.
Come on.
Fine by me, man.
Okay.
Anyway, we had a little bit of a fail over at the UN this week from Vladimir Zelensky.
I saw that.
Yeah, so this is Ukrainian TV. I'm not going to put it to the Western media because they're heinous on everything, but Ukrainian TV doctored the crowd, and they got caught. So there's Zelensky down there in the corner listening to his own speech. How does that work, Shanda? And I would think this is probably more of what the UN Assembly looked like. This isn't pictures from it, but I got a feeling that.
I'm surprised they didn't hire seat fillers like they did for the DNC. But, as somebody who takes a lot of pictures of events, this is what you do. You always make it look like there's a hell of a lot more people than there. I've posted pictures that make it look like it's a completely filled room and there's like 4 people in the room.
Yeah, I know. There's no need to no need to salt it or dilute it. Just do it the way it is, you asshole, because it's wrong. Now, I don't know if you guys know who this is.
Andy,
I'm sure you do. This is Matt Walsh, and he's kind of one of my least favorite people. And
I would say, do you watch this guy? Because I know who he is, but I've never watched him.
I don't, but this came across one of my feeds this week, and I just want people to hear this guy. And notice, he's so full of shit, he can't even look in the camera when he's saying this, but get a load of what this dude's saying.
Who should not have that right. They don't deserve it. And as I've tried to explain many times, The right to vote. It is not a God-given right guaranteed to everybody regardless of anything. It's not. Okay, it's not fundamental to your human nature that you automatically are entitled to have a say over the political system in your country. It's not. There are some basic guidelines that should be in place. You should have to earn that right. Not everybody should have it. And it is so incredibly obvious that if you are an absolute oblivious moron who knows nothing about your own country or the political or the government that runs it, then you shouldn't have any say over it.
How do you feel about what he just said?
I think that he's wrong. I will tell you that. I think that if you are an American citizen, you have the right. Yeah. I mean, I used to believe that you should show ID to vote, but I don't even, I still believe that. But the way the Democrats have it with mail-in ballots and harvesting and, all of that crap. No, I've seen the challenges that come. I've seen the lines for a mile for people trying to vote because of the way they have the system set up. And they want to,
They don't want people to vote.
They don't want people to vote.
And
exactly.
this guy's
and the Democrats want anybody to vote, even the dead. So we got a problem.
This guy's an ultra-conservative right-winger, too. So he doesn't want people to vote either. So
they never do.
And honestly, even though we may think our vote doesn't count, I still want that right. Period.
I've known that my vote is nothing for years, but I still do it to be on record saying that I am against you. I'm voting Green Party. Yeah. I don't condone this shit.
Even
this year, I don't know if I can
the
vote
effectiveness of your vote, if that's in question. I want that right to vote because, for one thing, that's a huge slippery slope. You start saying if you're not engaged or you don't know what's going around the country, we're going to take that.
You don't know what's going on.
You don't know what's going on. Well,
test.
They do in their local jurisdictions. So if there's something's happening to them where they're getting screwed, they're going to probably vote against it unless they're psycho like me. And
City council. I mean, there's so many other positions in these.
That's the slippery slope about
chairs.
this stuff. And this guy's just part of the machine that's trying to screw you. So I just wanted to point that out. What is this well shit? What did Biden say well shit?
Biden accidentally told the truth about the border.
He has done that in the past, even when he wasn't been in severe cognitive decline.
Yeah.
For decades, immigration reform has been a bipartisan in this country.
Sounds drunk.
Unfortunately, the mega Republican congressman of my predecessor spent 4 years gutting the immigration system under my predecessor.
What?
They continue to undermine our border security today, blocking bipartisan reform.
What?
We put in place policies that process people in a fair and fast way. Second, we're significantly expanding legal pathways for entry so businesses can get the workers they need. Families don't have to wait for a decade to be together. I've also directed my team to make a historic increase in the number of refugees admitted from Latin America.
Whoops.
We know what they're doing at the border, and more people on the left need to start standing up. And I was really glad to see Pundit and Kim do a segment on Jimmy Dore yesterday about it.
Yeah.
Because, I'm very passionate about the border. I've been to the border. I support, the fight against the School of the Americas. And
yeah, good point.
It was bad before. It was so horrific before, the way that the amount of people that were coming in, how they were being treated under the Biden administration, under the Obama administration, under the Trump administration. I don't care what fucking administration it is. It's all a fucking racket at the goddamn border. And whoever's in control is steering that racket to their side. And yeah, it's all about money, right?
It's a scheme.
More and more people are being hurt. I understand we need the workers. Let them in, give them visas, give them a fucking path. Our system is so broken that there is no
it's
there
trash.
is no system.
And if we
it's
wouldn't,
trashed. Yeah.
If we wouldn't ruin other countries' economies, you'd have less people wanting to come here too, I believe. So what did Holtschild do today? Did she break the law?
Well, this was her, remember she was crying about, send us your huddled masses. And now she's like, whoa, don't come here.
Oh, the hypocrisy moment. Yeah.
Yeah.
She's also pulling some pretty hanky shit up there in New York too. So
she's evil, man.
She is evil.
As you know, the Statue of Liberty is inscribed. It says, "Give me your tired, your poor, your huddled young masses yearning to be free, the wretched refuse to a teeming shore." And that statement encapsulates our values. We want people to come here, despite where they came from or despite the circumstances that drove them to this country and to this state. We say you are welcome here. You're welcome with open arms, and we'll work to keep you safe. We'll not only house you, but we'll protect you. So our message to the world is, send us your people, send us those who need the cloak of comfort that we can demonstrate as New Yorkers with big hearts and open arms.
How's it going?
But we have to let the word out that when you come to New York, we're not going to have more hotel rooms. We don't have capacity. So we have to also message properly that we're at our limit. If you're going to leave your country, go somewhere else. But the smarter thing is to apply for asylum before you leave your country.
Is this bitch for real?
No. Yeah, don't come here. You apply first. But we know that this is orchestrated. I mean, the amount of people that have crossed the border in even the last 6 months is just mind-boggling. I mean, and I don't want to get into the whole the assistance packages that they get versus assistance packages that we don't get. That's neither here nor there. I mean, we already have a housing crisis in this fucking country. What the hell are we going to do with this amount of people that are coming in? It's overwhelming communities, and they don't even want to admit there's a goddamn problem. They're just like, Trump was bad. He wasn't letting enough in. We're just going to let everybody come on up.
Do you think Abbott busing these people to these other municipalities is causing these assholes?
Well, they're flying them out too. There's planes that are leaving daily that they're flying them into these cities. So
what Abbott
too.
is saying, okay, since you're a sanctuary, then you are going to take care of the thing that you so virulently proposed back in 2021, Kathy, right?
They're Democrats. They're full of hypocrisy. And yeah, they will pivot on a dime. I mean, nope, that's not the policy I'm supporting.
No. Now, this was a particularly hard cut for me because I didn't want to get into the drama stuff, but this cut, you will see why I cut it. Sabrina Salvati from yesterday, she did a good segment on this. I want you to hear what she's got to say. It's short, and I agree with her. I think she's dead on here.
Here, when we talk about the connection between foreign policy and domestic policy in the United States, one of the reasons why I say that foreign policy is domestic policy is because when you look at the amount of money that U.S. government spends on foreign policy, on intervention, wars, the military-industrial complex abroad, that actually takes money away from domestic issues that we have right here at home. That takes money away from, helping out, like in terms of like food. People are talking about the grocery store prices are high. That takes money away from programs that could help people. If you were to reduce that defense budget, which is over $860 billion, well, then there's some of your money for those programs where you can help people, where everybody can have a home, where people don't have to starve. We're talking about the child poverty rate. The Democrats were bragging that the child poverty rate decreased by half. Why do we even have child poverty in a wealthy country like the United States? Because you have a military budget that's over $860 billion. And it was not always that way. So you have to make the connection between foreign policy and domestic policy. And that's something that Martin Luther King Jr. also preached about. You have to connect the foreign policy abroad to domestic policy at home. That is very crucial.
I can't agree with her more, and that's common sense. We've been talking about this for decades.
Make a pie chart. Maybe Harris will get it.
And at the worst that's going on, or at the best, this exposes how your money is being spent on imperial wars and garbage that does not benefit the taxpayer.
American exceptionalism.
Yeah, it's just absolute crap. And I want to thank everybody again. I try and cut things that are not in the main cycle of what we get all the time. Shanda does too. So if there's a little repetition, we apologize. But we want you to know our position or our opinion on these things. Like we want to hear yours. Crazy Puppet. Great. Sorry, been busy. Great seeing you guys. Yeah, it's great. It's always great seeing you, Crazy Puppets. Anytime. Thank you so much. Anyway, Sabby Sabs knocking it out of the park again. And again, we agree with Sabby a lot more than we disagree with her, which is a lot more. So Sabby's down to earth. Shitlick Book Club recommendations for this week are Don't Drop the Soap, and I've got Menendez in there holding the bar of soap. And Everything I Want to Do is Illegal. And they're just making laws to skirt around the legality of things in Washington.
So true.
So those two books, I'm sure they will be fine reading in your metaphorical world. We have this one here. You brought this?
Go to school, find a job, pay off debt, climb the ladder, vacation for 2 weeks, pay off mortgage, die. Yeah. And these are the real virus, and they are the real virus.
They are the real virus. Absolutely. I mean, well, I'm not gonna get too crazy here. What do you got this one here? Are we getting into cream of bullshit right now?
We're heading into cream of bullshit. So Elon Musk Neuralink to launch trials to plug first to ever implant into human brain. Who's volunteering? And we've got first cream of bullshit, CNN. Is that a tattoo on his arm, or is that where they put the disc in? My God, I'm tired of the tattoo conspiracies. I don't know. I don't care.
I don't either.
You know, he had tattoos. They disappeared. I don't know.
He's got skinny arms. Look at that. Here we go.
Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer recently relaxed the unwritten dress code for what U.S. senators can or can't wear inside the Senate chamber. That rule change is being criticized by congressional Republicans. Brian Todd is covering the story for us. Brian, what's the latest?
Wolf, today, Democratic Senator John Fetterman gave us a jarring image. He presided over the Senate wearing a short-sleeved shirt and shorts, which Republican Senator Rick Scott told me he thought was inappropriate. Tonight, a Senate known for its buttoned-up image is in an uproar over this change. He's 6'8", weighs about 270, and walks around the Senate halls with a hoodie and shorts on, and he isn't a tourist. Democratic Senator John Fetterman of Pennsylvania, whose choice of attire has forced him to vote from the doorways rather than on the Senate floor under the Senate's previous unwritten dress code, today was seen proudly wearing those casuals while presiding over the Senate.
The senator from Texas.
Now that Majority Leader Chuck Schumer has relaxed the dress code. Almost every Republican senator has signed a letter spearheaded by Florida Senator Rick Scott calling on Schumer to keep enforcing the code.
This has got to change back. We've got to have decorum. We've got to dress the way the American public would expect their U.S. senators to dress.
Republican Senator Chuck Grassley saying it stinks. Senator John Kennedy saying,
I don't like it.
And Republican Senator Susan Collins
like
joking, quote, I plan to wear a bikini tomorrow to the Senate floor.
Oh,
Some
God,
Democrats seem reluctant to criticize the change. Do you think it should be changed?
I just think there's a whole lot more important things for us to worry about. So
she's so disingenuous. I can't
as long as people cover all the private parts.
I think you can have respect for the institution without a formal dress code, so long as individual members take personal responsibility for upholding decorum.
But Republicans are pressing, even on the House side.
But you're going to change all of the Senate rules simply so someone can wear gym clothes onto the floor? I mean, that's embarrassing.
Fetterman today firing back, saying, quote, if those jagovs in the House stop trying to shut our government down and fully support Ukraine, then I will save democracy by wearing a suit on the Senate floor next.
So you dress for the job you want. He applied for the goddamn job. The job requires that you look respectable and presentable. Apparently, the job that he wants is pushing a broom at IHOP or something. Because you know how I feel about this. There's a certain level of decorum and respect that comes with somebody who dresses up. You're dealing with millions and millions and millions of fucking dollars. You're moving people's lives. You're making decisions. So
this is reflective of the United States of America. And I don't want a gym member coming in and representing my country. I might be a little boomerish on that, guys, but I want a professional looking, well-presented person, and I know he's 6'8", and he'll have to pay for $1,000 plus suit.
He's making money. Come on,
he's making
we're giving him money.
180,000 plus.
Not to mention the money he's making on the side. So he's got a couple of committees.
And to his point, we have more important things to do, and one of them is to stop pouring money into an imperialist war over Ukraine that's killing people. The guy is a few screws less than a full package. I gotta tell you,
suit if you fund the Ukraine war. You want to hit all these super chats, Crazy Puppet?
You go for it.
I got him. Okay. Service announcement: send PayPal. Google. Yes, I agree. Thank you so much. I just saw that come in, Crazy Puppet. You are crazy. I am unhinged, he said.
That's my job.
That's our job. We're supposed to be unhinged. And hi, Gamer and Jilly. Very sweet shout out to Gamer and Jilly in the chat. Thank you so much, Crazy Puppet.
And we've got a Chris Christie here. Chris Christie.
I love seeing you over on Jimmy. You always burn it up on Jimmy.
Yeah, you do.
This almost doesn't warrant a Fox alert. Donald Trump has gone ahead and skipped the second presidential debate. This, of course, the Fox Business one next week in California. He says he's going to be delivering a Detroit primetime speech, presumably to address the strike that's going on, even though the head of the UAW does not appear to be a big fan of the former president. Anyway, Chris Christie is joining us right now, presidential candidate, the former two-term governor of the blue state of New Jersey. He made it red for a couple of terms. Governor, very good to have you.
Thank you for having me, Neil.
Let's talk a little bit about Donald Trump's decision. I'm sure you're not surprised, but a number of times, Governor, you've said that you would follow Donald Trump. Do you still plan to follow him?
Yeah, no, look, I said I was going to get into debates to show up.
He's not
Get your shit straight. Debate number 2. So after debate number 2, we're going to have to go find him, I guess. Look, we've got Joe Biden, who campaigned all these years ago in a basement.
God, I debate this
we now have Donald Trump, who's hiding behind the walls of his golf clubs and only going into very controlled circumstances where, he doesn't get to be asked questions by voters. I mean, I think this is incredibly disrespectful to voters, Neil. They have a right to hear from him about his record when he was president, about what his plans are if he were to be the nominee again. And he just is ignoring it.
So what would you do if you followed him, if you knew a place where he would be, if he was in a diner or whatever?
We need sound effects.
What would you do? What would you say?
I have sound effects. I just got to get them working.
Neil, I'm going to keep that between me and Donald Trump when I get there.
He's going to keep that between him and Donald Trump. Chris Christie, this guy loves to be on the rounds. I could have literally filled the entire cream of bullshit with spots of him on CNN and MSNBC and Fox this week. That's his only job anymore.
Oh, MSNBC. I know. They're promoting Republicans.
They love him.
Now,
the Dems love him.
Absolutely, because he's anti-Trump. What do you get?
But not as much as this next segment. So this is how Bono and Eddie Vedder save the children, and they get a tongue licking from Joe and Mika.
Oh God, Joe and Mika tongue licking.
Last year's annual Global Citizen Festival raised over $2 billion to end extreme poverty and generated awareness about some of the world's most pressing issues, including hunger, climate change, gender inequity, and more. The event featured major artists and speakers from the Jonas Brothers to Metallica to Speaker Emerita Nancy Pelosi. Tomorrow, the festival returns to Central Park, and the organizers say it might be the most impactful yet. And here to explain why is the CEO and co-founder of Global Citizen, Hugh Evans, and Fran Katsoudas, the Executive Vice President and Chief People, Policy, and Purpose Officer at Cisco. She runs it. Let's just say it. Let's tell Chuck.
Hi, Mika. Hi, Joe.
Now, Fran serves. Chuck would say it too. Fran serves on the board of directors for Global Citizen, and by the way, she was also an honoree on the Forbes
guy got on his chest a hole.
50 list last year. So let's start with you.
They're saving us from poverty.
I mean, we have been so excited to see over the past 11 years what you've done. And so many of these things come and go. They're fads. Yours is not. It's an incredible story how it started. But 11 years now. How much closer to your goal of ending extreme poverty are you?
Well, firstly, I should say thank you to Fran and thank you to you, Joe and Mika. I honestly believe we wouldn't be here today without you because you were involved since day one. So huge thank you to you. As it relates to our mission of eradicating extreme poverty within our lifetime, the world is much closer than when I was born. 1983, 52% of the planet lived in extreme poverty. Pre-pandemic, the world was down to less than 8% of the world's population.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Because
I don't believe that for 1 second.
Less than 8% of the world population is in poverty. That is outright bullshit fucking lie. And I love where they say, well, Nancy Pelosi was a speaker. Who wants to go to a festival where Nancy Pelosi is one of the scheduled speakers? And not I.
Not me either. What do you got here?
Melinda Gates is trying to rehabilitate herself now.
It's only a minute. We'll suffer through it.
Yeah, it's only a minute.
There's a lot of attention on the global south and the lack of progress on the critical sustainable development goals, reaching those goals, especially on infant mortality and maternal health. Talk to me about that with your work in Africa in particular. Why has progress been so slow? What more can the world do?
Well, thanks for having me. And, you know, I think one of the things we have to realize coming out of COVID is that the wealthier countries could invest in their health systems and invest in their people and
more money for COVID.
But these were already fragile health systems across the continent of Africa. And so COVID really ravaged those systems. And if a government had a lot of debt, which many of them did, they couldn't rebuild the health system. And so really saying, how do we help these countries rebuild the health system? Because they have an unbelievable opportunity. There are youth who are growing up in these countries, and I see when they get educated what businesses they're creating and the vibrancy that's there. But we do have to help them get on a path because that debt is not sustainable.
Well, aren't you glad Melinda Gates is...
He's back on the job.
Back on the job. And I'm highly suspect of these people. If they're doing some good, great, but I'm not buying it. I'm not buying it because...
Well, no, and she's asking for more money to prepare for pandemic, right? It's going to be a focus on straight pandemic.
Anna Maris is over with a Super Ray. Good to see you, Anna. Sorry, I am late. It's going to be food and water wars from now on. Yes, it's going to be food and water wars. I agree with you. It is. Whether it's this year, next year, or in 5 years. That's ultimately what it's going to be, Anna Maris. It has to be. And Anna Maris came back with Save Me Harder from Poverty, ? Really?
Yeah, they cured poverty, Bono and frickin' Eddie Vedder.
I think you got a super chat over there from Crazy Puppet still.
Crazy Puppet. Let's see. I got the Hi Gamer, Hi Jilly.
Last one.
I'm looking. I got it. Kate, yes, I was here and there, but not engaged due to mostly getting to hear the cast while I drove through the States. Mostly detached. Yeah, I listen to a lot of stuff too.
Good for you.
I get it.
Good for you. I have a now and then here, and this is now. I'm sure they've got even more pyromaniac style caps for cap guns.
Actually, no.
Is that
our generation did? Don't read. Our generation did have that stuff, but now they're so overprotective and cautious for the kids that no. I saw some at the store the other day. I bought my grandson a harmonica. I made the kids this day with that crap, but I looked at those and I was like, oh, those can't really spark. I mean, they have the little poppet things.
Yeah, I used to roll these things up, these old ones, and
hit on them
and hit them with a sledgehammer. So the point where it would blow the sledgehammer back up in my face.
Right.
So
oh my gosh, so dangerous the stuff we played with as kids.
Yeah, I like super balls because you could bounce that ball; it would go over your house. And of course, I had lawn darts, and I didn't kill anybody, so I lived through that experience.
I love lawn darts. Crazy Puppet, you are crazy. Thank you so much for supporting the show. We couldn't do it without you guys.
We couldn't do it without
It's
you.
always special when you come in and give us some love, Crazy Puppet. We appreciate it.
It is very special. Very.
I love watching you give everybody else love.
Yeah,
too.
it's really appreciated. Sincerely, thank you so much, Crazy Puppet.
Emily.
What?
Want to be my sugar daddy? Careful, you're going to get picked up on in the chat.
Did we? Dr. Seuss.
You and I have the same brain, so we just brought the same.
Dr. Seuss, one thief, two thief, red thief, blue thief. Yeah, I have to agree. That's how it works.
For sure.
That's how it works. Let me see.
Stoner Corner.
Stoner Corner time. Then we're gonna get out here.
Stoner Corner.
We're gonna get out.
Okay, so weed growing wild everywhere. No freaking lighter. Yeah, that's the way it'll be.
That's what it was too. It was terrible.
So high. Thought these were little dinosaurs.
Aren't they?
They're monkeys.
They're monkeys with tails going the other way.
Yeah, but they do. I thought they were little dinosaurs too, and I was stoned when I looked at it. Me before and after every meal. I love the Swedish chef. He was my favorite. He's rolling a blunt. And self-care is a solo blunt, and don't you ever forget it.
And do you like my animations that I did of these, Shanda?
I love it. I love the coyote, Wile E. Coyote.
If anybody's interested on how to do these, you go over to Pika in Discord, and you can actually make the hair wave and that other stuff. I'm always happy to share how I do stuff if you're interested.
Hi, Kate. Crazy Puppet says hi, Kate, with a smiley face.
So cute. Well, we want to say fuck Hollywood, but not fuck all those struggling
people,
the actors, and you rich ones like Sean Penn can go straight to hell. That's all I can say was that one.
Bye-bye.
You got what is this? This is
being mean to scabs is working and is fucking true. Both Drew Barrymore and Bill Maher are now not resuming their shows amid strikes. They tried that shit last week. Both of them come out and said, I care about my people and I'm going to do my show. I don't care. And they got shut down. We shut them down by letting them know that they're scabs and you don't cross a picket line.
No,
and
that's what you got to do.
Let's see. Warner's musical AI pop star slammed as pedo clickbait. Yeah, did you see this crap?
Yeah, that's pretty not surprising, though. Sex sells, right?
Sex sells.
You brought this?
There's a level of expectation that There's a level of expectations that they have that's just not realistic, says Disney's CEO Bob Iger, who takes home over $100 million a year. Also pictured is his yacht and his mansion, totally unrelated. Yeah, fuck you, Bob Iger.
Okay.
I know you feel that way, Oz. And let's see. Did you see this? The new Beetlejuice. It's got Michael Keaton, Winona Ryder, and Jenna Ortega in it.
Jenna Ortega. Yeah, I've got to make a prediction. I think this is going to be Michael Keaton's last movie, and he's going to retire.
Really?
I think he's going to.
I hope not. He's amazing.
I know he is. He is amazing. But what note would it be for him to go out with Beetlejuice? Because I think he's going to kill it with this movie.
Oh, he's going to kill it. We've been waiting for 30 years for this.
Yeah. So if I was him, because he's got all the money he needs, I'd retire after this and go out with this one as being my last.
He's got to have all the money he needs. But, he was a struggling actor for many, many years. There was some time there between the 90s and 2000s where he wasn't working.
Can you bring this one Monday?
Birdman brought him back.
Can you bring this one Monday? We're running out of time.
Yeah, no, I'll bring the shout out to Pasta. It's just a shout out to Pasta. Just show it and I'll shout it out. I'm so proud of Pasta and the work that he's doing. And I just want to say shout out to him. Way to go, Pasta.
Yeah.
He helped raise a lot of money for the people in Lahaina by being able to use Jimmy's platform. And good job for Jimmy letting him do it. And shout out.
I think they've raised thousands of dollars, not tons and tons, but thousands of dollars, which does help. So
I'm sad though, because our convo couch is growing up, Oz.
Yeah, I know. They're
all growing up and they're going out on their own, and they're both amazing, doing amazing work. It's just sad.
Great Fee says here. You brought this.
He says evidence suggests Ukrainian missile caused market tragedy. Witness accounts and an analyst of the video and weapon fragments suggest a Ukrainian missile failed to hit its intended target and landed in a bustling street with devastating consequences. And yeah, they tried to blame that on Russia, and it turns out, they did it.
Yeah, I heard that too, and I was suspect when we saw that. It was just horrific. 17 people died. So that really sucked. So we're at the end of the show. We're going to get out of here. We got a hell of a great closer here tonight.
It's been a fun Saturday.
We've got the Boxer from Simon and Garfunkel, and then we've got some ELO coming out here, which is both two great covers. We hope you guys enjoy it. What do we got coming up, Shanda?
What do we got coming up? I've already got Monday's Trailer Park Pundit half done, and we're going to talk about Marina. That's right. What else are we going to say? We got a lot to talk about, and I'll probably give you a little bit more of my opinion on the dress code because I do have a very, you don't apply for a job and then not show up dressed to kill it.
I really like your shows, and they're placed great because they're kind of in between Kit and the afternoon shows.
Good.
And you
I've
really
worked hard to
honestly,
find my spot.
It's nice, and I'm so biased towards you, Shanda, but it is so nice listening to you connect to everybody. You are genuine when you're talking. I know you personally, so I can, I swear you're genuine. There's nothing.
I'm the same person in the green room as I am on camera.
You're the same, and it's always a pleasure working with you. And I want to.
It's always a pleasure working with you, and you look sharp as a tack tonight.
Well, I'm going to continue wearing these. I'm going to try and step it up a little bit so I can, But I want to thank everybody, and Crazy Puppet, you were just crazy tonight.
You were crazy tonight. Thank you.
You keeping us going here. We
be safe out there on those long roads.
Yes, and I want to thank everybody else for the Super Rays and the other Super Chats. You guys are gems. Like I said, we're not in this to make a living like some of our sisters and brothers do, who really do a good job bringing information and opinion that you
we're just here to have a good time.
Yeah, we're here to have a good time and take a little pressure off the pressure cooker during the week. Thursday, I'm kind of tentative on having a movie night, but something has come up.
I want to do a movie, so
yeah,
let me know when.
I've got to rearrange my schedule a little bit, but next Saturday, unfortunately, we're going to be off one more time before going into the holiday season.
But it's mine and Amber's fault. We are hosting Technology, Radiation, Health, and Your Future in Port Townsend, Washington. If you are on the West Coast and want to join us.
And there is no substitute for my partner, Shanda, on Saturday night, so I'm going to work on more graphics and video and music for you guys and try and figure out ways to engage more with you guys in the chat. And we got a lot of fun stuff coming up. But this is the last time we're going to be off unless somebody gets sick, right? For the holidays.
Damn right, yeah, right.
This is it. So this next, bear with us.
We knew September was going to be kind of
little rocky, but we do have the Halloween show coming up, and we are going to invite people to join us in the green room, and we will have a costume contest. And we will do the show while you guys can kind of be like in the audience in the green room, and we're going to flash you up.
Live audience.
Yeah, you're going to be the live audience in the green room. We're going to bring you on camera a couple of times, but we're going to do a show because over the years when we've done these Halloween shows, full disclosure, it's really tough to get everybody engaged in the show when we've got a show set. But we thought it'd be nice to have you there and bring you on camera, say hi to all of your friends, just bring a costume and let us know. And
so that's the Saturday before Halloween. I think it's the 28th.
Yeah, it's the Saturday before Halloween, and we are going to have a good time. So, Shanda, it's time to go. We got a hell of an outro tonight. We hope you all enjoy it. And
it's great. You did a beautiful job on it.
I guess.
And go join Uncle Warren next.
Yeah,
Put the link in the chat.
Yeah, Uncle Warren, drop that link.
Appreciate Uncle Warren.
And have a great night, everybody. And let's get some peace going in Ukraine before there are more pieces left for
peace, man.
Peace, man. Here we go, guys.
Good night, guys.
Good night, guys.
Oh, loud.
The city streets are empty now. I am just a poor boy, though my story's seldom told. I have squandered my resistance for a pocket full of mumbles, such are promises. All lies and jests, still a man hears what he wants to hear, then disregards the rest. When I left my home and my family, I was no more than a boy in the company of strangers, in the quiet of the railway station, running scared and laying low, seeking out the poor quarters where the ragged people go, looking for the places only they would know. Sing la la la, la 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 la. Asking only workman wages, I come looking for a job, but I get no offers. Just to come on from the whores on 7th Avenue. I do declare there were times when I was so lonesome I took some comfort there. La 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 la. Now the years are rolling by me, and they are rocking evenly, and I am older than I once was, younger than I'll be, that's not unusual. No, it isn't strange, after changes upon changes, we are more or less the same. After changes, we are more or less the same. Sing la la. La 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 la. And I'm laying out my winter clothes, wishing I was gone, going home, where the New York City winters aren't bleeding me, leading me to going home. In the clearing stands a boxer and a fighter by his trade, and he carries the reminders of every glove that laid him down or cut him till he cried out in his anger and his shame, I am leaving, but the fighter still remains, yes, he still remains. Sing la 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 la.